On November the 15th, 2021, on the back lawn of our White House, mayors applauded and rejoiced as President Joe Biden signed a $1.2 trillion infrastructure law. Fontana, California Mayor Aquanetta Warren, she represented the nation's mayors on the podium when she eloquently thanked President Biden for his tenacity and persistence in not giving up or giving in until the infrastructure law was passed. She thanked Congress too, and above all, she thanked the nation's mayors, assembled that day as well as other mayors in cities across America, for their long and seemingly never-ending toil of pushing this bill through Congress. And when President Biden spoke, he made significant reference to the bipartisan efforts of our mayors. He referred to a special letter that was signed by hundreds of mayors, both Republicans, Democrats, and Independents, mayors of the United States Conference of Mayors. On the stand to witness the actual signing, President Biden also asked former conference president Nan Whaley to stand beside him for this day in history. Mayor Whaley and Oklahoma City Mayor David Holt led our robust lobbying effort through Zooms and in person to push their members of the House and Senate to pass the law, to get the job done and send the bill to President Biden for his signature. Not since the Interstate Highway Bill in June of 1956, signed by President Dwight David Eisenhower, have we had an infrastructure bill providing $1.2 trillion. It was a day, a cold day, a historical day that we will never forget. But you know, as big and as vast as it is, this law is thought of as one that provides bricks and mortar and roads and bridges. But the fact is that we are beginning to see how much this massive federal program will help the people of our great nation. In its infancy, we are beginning to see the human side of this law, putting a face on this major investment. In this film, we show three mayors: Fontana Mayor Aquanetta Warren, Scranton Mayor Paige Cognetti, and Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas, all showing us how this law is helping to make a better life for our people who live, love, work, play, and pray in our cities. Together with Bloomberg Philanthropies, we have held many virtual and in-person sessions through our local infrastructure hub, helping cities of all sizes get their rightful share of the federal dollars provided through direct grants or money that was unfortunately sent to the states. We thank Bloomberg Philanthropies for this strong and effective partnership. So let's now hear from and see how three dynamic mayors are making it better for their residents. We salute Mayors Warren, Cognetti, and Lucas, and we thank them for their time and guidance, illustrating that yes, it's more than roads and bridges. This new law is about helping people of all ages in their daily lives, making a difference as they reside in the great cities of the United States of America.
Good morning, it's Aiden. I'm now on the way to school. I left about 25 minutes early, and as you can see, I'm in a long trail of traffic all the way back to the light. I'm with Mom. Hey, Mom.
My name is Aiden Hamilton. I'm a junior here at Etiwanda High School. School doesn't start until 8:30, but because of the traffic, I have to plan ahead. If you are not there at least 20 minutes early, you will be caught and you will be late. You will be sitting behind a long, endless path of cars. The patience that you have to get to school can be not a great way to wake up and start your day.
My name is Aquanetta Warren, and I am the mayor of the city of Fontana. All three of my children graduated from Etiwanda High School, and all three of them had to walk to get to school. Etiwanda High School is home to 3,500 students, over 69% Fontana residents. So they have no other option but to come that way. They have to travel down that street to get to this school site.
A lot of students end up having to just walk out and hope that people stop, trying to dodge and weave and time going across the cars.
I dropped off my kids. It was not a good feeling.
It's kind of like that video game Frogger.
Fontana is a great city. It is about 65 miles east of Los Angeles. We're growing. We've seen a growth in homes, businesses, and the biggest challenge is making sure that our infrastructure continues to match that growth. It's the streets, the lights, the traffic signals, even school drop-off zones are infrastructure. And thank you, Mr. President, for making this a reality. Thank you. I had the pleasure and honor of speaking at the White House on behalf of all the governors and mayors. The president himself told me, everybody wanted to talk, Aquanetta, but I told him, no, Aquanetta is going to represent all of you. That bipartisan legislation for infrastructure allowed people to go back and look at their community and see what was a priority, apply for the grant, and apply it to their area. And that's what Fontana is doing. I was so excited because I saw a pathway for my community. So is it getting into class, or is it when you get here, how to get here?
Yes, it's about to get here.
How can your mayor help with that?
I think we just need more space. We need more access to our campus. When there's 3,500 squeezing into a single road, it gets pretty crowded, yeah.
Right. Well, what would you ask
I think
the
if
mayor
I were in charge, I'd be trying to make more accessible drop-off zones.
So our goal is to make the infrastructure safer. We're gonna put in sidewalks, bike lanes.
I would be waking up an hour later. I'd be taking my time. I'd be strolling into school. The minute it starts, I'd be relaxed. I wouldn't have anything to worry about. In a lot of ways that people don't even consider, it's gonna impact our lives for the better.
It's not an overnight. It is a long-term commitment to outstanding infrastructure in your community. I've seen over 25 years of what needed to happen here. And finally, we're going to do it.
I can see a lot of progress, and I just hope that it keeps going and the community stays strong.
Would you mind if we take a selfie?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
You know I'm the selfie queen, okay?
I expect big things for this then.
My name is Paige Cognetti. I'm the mayor of Scranton, Pennsylvania. What I love about Scranton and what I fell in love with when I first came here, it's a place where family thrives and where family really means something.
My name is Jorge Ariza, and I am a graphic designer from Scranton, PA. My parents are originally from Mexico. They came to seek the American dream. They ended up moving to the Scranton area. They loved it here.
We're very proud to be raising our daughters here in Scranton. It's a really special place. Scranton sits as a logistical hub for the Northeast region of the United States. As a place where industry and manufacturing was a real hotbed during the Industrial Revolution, the Scranton family actually began to make T-rails that they shipped out all over the country and helped build the entirety of the railway system in America. In 1892, my 3 times great-grandparents got on a train from Scranton and headed west.
Scranton is actually known for its history of trains, for the coal mines, and especially for the office.
Our legacy includes the first electric trolley system, passenger rail to New York City, all these pieces that used to exist. Today, driving around Scranton, you'll see train tracks in many, many places. Some that are still used, but many that go nowhere. The last train left the Electric City for the Big Apple in 1970.
I commute to New York City regularly for freelance projects. I have to take the bus because that's the only option that we have in the area, unfortunately. It could be cramped sometimes, because of the morning rush hour that comes up.
I was going to New York on Monday or Tuesday of this week. We got stuck in traffic on 80.
Right.
And then you're at the Lincoln Tunnel and you're not sure how long it's gonna take.
Exactly.
Making it easier to get back and forth to opportunities would be great for entrepreneurs like Jorge and for so many other people in our community.
The lack of train station around here, it really does affect my opportunity to pursue my career in the city.
Trains have always been part of our DNA, part of our entrepreneurial history. It's a part of our past, but it also should be part of our future. Pennsylvania is one of the first states to receive funding from the $66 billion allocated for Amtrak in the bipartisan infrastructure law. The federal government, President Biden, are coming through with funding for this for the first time since 1970, since that last train left the station.
Take the bus, but
I really want to ask the mayor, when are we going to start building that train station?
We have great news that this is all going to become a rail station and rail line to New York. This will become the gateway for northeastern Pennsylvania to New York City. Not just a hub for the region, but a real economic boom for our downtown and for our city.
A new train station, it's always been a rumor for years. Now it's coming to life. It's really exciting.
We may have a new train line from Scranton to New York City as early as 2028. The service development plan includes 3 trains each way every single day, including dining cars.
This new train station will benefit a lot of commuters. It will allow them to keep that Scranton lifestyle and have the benefits of working in the city.
This rail line will be transformative for our economy and for our quality of life here in northeastern Pennsylvania.
I see myself in the future still living in the Scranton area, and now I have this train station that gives me the opportunity to go back and forth and have the best of both worlds.
We need infrastructure that works for people and that is out of sight, out of mind. The bipartisan infrastructure law is helping us get there here in Scranton. I'm extremely proud of pushing for this funding, and I'm really looking forward to boarding that first train with my family from Scranton to New York.
I always have to come back to Scranton to see my mom and dad. I love them.
'71 Highway cuts through the heart of the black community in Kansas City. It is also a dividing line. Blacks historically lived east and whites lived to the west.
With the highways that divide our neighborhoods, it's hard for a lot of these families to get what they need.
My family lived in the footprint of that highway. And I still remember when I was a little kid, I was asking my mom while they were doing construction on it, "What's that for?" And she said, "It's a faster way downtown for people." But I knew it wasn't for us.
It brought a lot of stress and struggle to a lot of our families, and mine of course too. Growing up, we didn't have a lot of money or a lot of anything.
We have not addressed our past, some of the tough histories that has separated our community for far too long.
There's a lot of violence here, and it's hard to say, okay, well, I'll be fine going to school, because it wasn't really that fun, you know?
I was blessed to grow up with a wonderful mother, a single woman who raised me and my 2 sisters by her lonesome. We moved around a lot. We knew what it was like to live in some rundown housing. We knew homelessness. We knew a lot about what it meant to try to catch the bus, but when the bus routes weren't there and working for you, how challenging that could be.
A lot of people in the community aren't as heard as they want to be. They just feel unseen, and it's breaking us a little bit, you know?
Part of why I wanted to become mayor, and part of what I do as mayor today, is to say, how can I remove those barriers to success in so many parts of our community? And so what we are trying to do today is make amends, is trying to find a way using infrastructure, bridges, sidewalks, better cameras, better lighting, better traffic lights, to say, how can we make it safe for people, first of all, to cross the highway? And ultimately, how can we remove the highway as a barrier and instead see bridges of opportunity that go from east to west, from black to white in our community, and white to black in our community? Bipartisan infrastructure law today means that we have a chance to address issues that we have not been able to address for my entire lifetime in Kansas City.
If I were mayor, I would try and provide students and adults and their families the opportunities of just knowing that you're safe getting from point A to point B.
For kids like Mariana, the bipartisan infrastructure law means that our country, our states, our cities, our president care about them, care about removing barriers to their success.
Well, there you are. There you are.
The mentality that Mayor Lucas has, it's uplifting, and it shows that he really cares, and you know that other people can care for this community.
There are a lot of different paths that I could have had, but there were people that cared about me and invested in me. How can I make it so that the story I was able to have isn't an exception, but is the routine?
If we could just present opportunities that we have to others, maybe we can fix some things that are damaged, you know? Find a solution to that problem that seemed like it didn't have a solution.
The bipartisan infrastructure law is saying you matter, your future matters, and you're worthy of investment. And there's nothing more important than making sure communities know, that kids know, they are worthy of investment.
I'll be watching out for you. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll see you. Take care.
The picture I paint in my head for my future and for my family's future is just pure success. I want to be able to be like, hey, yeah, you can have that. No matter what's happened within this community, it can always get better, and I believe it can get better, and I'm gonna see it one day. I'll see it. We'll make sure of that.